I'm doomed. I'm doomed. I'm going to lose my vision in my left eye. This is going to go all the way back into my brain and I'm going to die. I mean, if the planet was supposed to do this and it's on the path that it's supposed to be on, well, does that mean the planet is coming to an end? Is that what a shopping experience is going to be like from now on? You can't even go into a store and grab items and check out yourself. And now let's get into episode 164. What is happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back on this May 25th, 2023, and I'm so glad to have you all back here with me. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody out there who subscribes so much. I appreciate all of you. If you're new, swinging by, checking it out, hit that subscribe button. If you want to get more involved with the podcast, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's the official email. Send your stories, all right, to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And, of course, if you're looking for an easier way to find everything TwT, click the link tree. Man, I will tell you, recording these episodes early is very interesting for me. Yeah, because I get to watch something I previously recorded, and then I get to elaborate on it because sometimes I feel like I don't get all my words out. So 2 weeks ago, now, Deborah's episode came out, and I was talking about how I always feel a particular way when I get a stripe or if I get a belt or if I get a compliment, okay? The word I was looking for was disappointment. I always feel like a disappointment to everybody around me because I've always been a disappointment to everybody around me. So when I'm sitting there listening to myself, cringing, hating it, wishing I could die in that very moment, I feel like a disappointment. I feel like a disappointment in my life, in my jiu-jitsu, in my job. I'm not sure what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm also over a month separated from the vape, still looking for the damn thing. Oh my God, I so wish I could. But I can't. Not going to. I love these though. This On Brand, oh, sorry, I won't shake it. I'll put it up closer. This On Brand is really good. Right now, I've only got a couple to show you because I'm only bringing them up to the podcast room as I finish them. I do have to say Rogue is my absolute favorite pouch. They're thicker, bigger, and I also found out that you're not supposed to, at least the On, not sure about Velo, but there's actual instructions on these damn things. Fancy that. Yeah, no longer than like 20 minutes. You're supposed to suck on these stupid things. And I have decided, personally, this time around, to cut my grass long. I don't know if it's going to work. But it's looking healthier. It's looking greener. Yeah, anybody else trying something different? I mean, I have tried so many different ways to keep my lawn alive. And last year, it got so hot and so brutal that, like, everything died anyways. As I drove around neighborhoods, I mean, there was very few green lawns last year after summer. But I'm just trying something new. I can't rake the entire thing. I have to break it up into pieces because I am just getting old. Shoulders don't want to work like they used to. Elbows are falling apart. And I blame it on my age, not being able to do certain things. My back seized up yesterday in class. My foot locked up. I mean, I am just an absolute mess, creeping on 44. It is so annoying. And I had a doctor's appointment the other day, and I was going to cancel it because my eczema on my hand is finally clearing up. I've had this stuff 7 months. This hand has been raw and nasty and just a pain in my side. And I was going to cancel the doctor's appointment, and then I wake up the day before the doctor's appointment, and on my left eye, I had like this white dot on the inside, like inside, touching my eye, but growing on my eyelid. Like, I was freaking out, right? I mean, it felt uncomfortable. I had super pain on my cheekbone. My eye was super red. I'm like, this thing is gonna scratch my cornea. I'm doomed. I'm doomed. I'm gonna lose my vision in my left eye. This is gonna go all the way back into my brain, and I'm gonna die. That's where my brain went. And I don't know. Oh man, I'm a mess. And then the next day, I go to work, I go to Jiu-Jitsu, and I come home, get out of the shower, and it's gone. And I go, fancy that. I wonder if it got like ripped off in Jiu-Jitsu when someone slid their gi across my face, or when I got stabbed. Oh, who knows what the hell happened, right? And I'm like, well, I had it on my eye. My doctor's appointment's in less than 12 hours. I think I'm just going to go. So I just went and I talked to her because I got a new PCP. Luckily, she's going to be awesome, and she's going to let me do my entire blood panel, whether insurance covers it or not, because I don't care, and she doesn't care. So great. She knows everything I want to order. So when I tell her and I go in for my physical, I go, I want to do a full blood panel. She's going to order the whole 9 yards for me. And I'm like, yes. It's going to cost a pretty penny, but I like to do things in-house so that they have it on record, and it just makes my life easier. At the end of the day, I deserve to know what's going on inside my body, just like you do. So you just got to ask your doctor, and then you tell them, I don't care if insurance covers it. I want it done. And guess what? Some doctors are going to tell you, no, I'm not doing this. Those doctors are the ones that I do not like, see, or stick with. So I'm very happy that for the first time I've gotten to meet my PCP. She's awesome. She's going to do everything I want. But she told me that it was basically a pimple. Is to simple it down, because what she told me, I was like, what is that? And then she's like, oh, to get rid of it, you put a warm cloth on your face and it'll help pull the oils and stuff out. And I go, so it was a pimple? And she goes, yeah, and if you could see my face right then, it's kind of like a shrugging, like, yes, but no, but yes. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So I don't have to, there's nothing, no infection. She's like, well, you do have an open wound now, just like a pimple would. And you have to keep an eye on that. No pun intended. But you got to keep an eye on it, because now we have to worry about it getting infected. And if it gets infected, then yes, you will have an issue, because it's your eye, and your eye is connected to your brain. So anything going on your face or near or on your eye, ball, lid, near it, the bridge, by the tear, any of that going on is super, super dangerous. Excuse me. And you should definitely have a doctor look at it if you're having any complications like that. Just like when your mouth is all infected or you got problems there, you need to go see a dentist immediately, because anything going on in your face can go right to your brain. It's just, I personally get really creeped out by it, and I get really worried because it's too close for me. You know, the further away from major organs, the less I worry about it. You know, my hand, I was bothered by it, but I'm not freaking out. You know, it's not traveling to my heart. It's not traveling to my brain. It was just traveling all over my hand. So things like that, I get really worried about. So we've been doing jiu-jitsu, obviously, but it's getting warmer, and we're up on the second floor. And I think last night when we left, it was 82 degrees in there. Has anybody ever done hot jiu-jitsu? Ooh, boy. I'm telling you, that is a struggle, because it doesn't even take a match before you're like completely taxed out. And basically, I think I mentioned this on the episode with Deborah, but when you get to a point in your jiu-jitsu where you've done 4 matches and now you're on your 5th, we're hitting 25 minutes, right? 20 minutes, and you're getting ready for that last 5, your game, it doesn't slow down, but it's almost like you're more in tune with what's going on. You're looking for openings, you're getting a position and holding it and catching your breath, and you're working slower, right? Well, I'll tell you, we did 4 matches in 82-degree weather, because it was 82 degrees up there. And I mean, just sweat pouring off of all of us. But those last 3 matches that I did, I was like, holy crap. Like, just moving in tune with my body, waiting for the person to make a mistake, waiting, feeling it out, you know, moving with the momentum. It was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So if you can do hot jiu-jitsu, I recommend it, because man, it really changes what you're doing, because I mean, it's so hot up there that like you can't just be like moving. You gotta think about what your next move is. You gotta think about the energy you're gonna expend. But yeah, it was a wild time. Has anybody heard of this new strain of ringworm? Wild. They just found it in the U.S. I didn't share the article with myself, so I don't have it. But it is not responding to creams or anything. It's hold on a second. It's a drug-resistant ringworm found in the U.S. And it's wild. So this ringworm is not responding to any medications whatsoever. And I mean, what do we do about that? What do we do about it? I mean, ringworm in itself, it's itchy, it's irritating, it doesn't look so great, but it's not like, I haven't heard of anybody dying from ringworm. And now, please, correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't heard of anybody dying from it. And normally you just put, you know, what is it? Lupiderm, something like that. It begins with an L, and you can get it for ringworm specific, and you put this cream on it for like 4 weeks, and the ringworm goes away. And as long as you're taking care of it, maintaining it, you know, it will go away in a reasonable amount of time. They say anything over 6 weeks, you're supposed to see a doctor because it could be an issue. But what are we going to do about a ringworm that's not responding to medications? Are you just stuck with it forever? Is it like Lyme disease? Because aren't you stuck with Lyme disease forever once you get it? And it's like, why would this ringworm all of a sudden become non-responsive to medications Like, could this be like Lyme disease where it was almost a bioweapon? Because I do believe that Lyme disease started off as a weapon, right? They were messing around with it and they put it into ticks, and it was to get people sick on purpose with a disease that you can't really turn it around. And now it's, I mean, rampant everywhere. I mean, there isn't a day I open up my phone or turn on my phone or whatever you want to call it, unlocking my phone, and you see something about ticks. Beware, Lyme disease. 500,000 people are going to get it this year. It's like, well, that really sucks. I don't want it. But it's like, are we ever going to get to the point where, like, you can't really avoid it? Is that going to be the same with this ringworm? And, like, if it gets spread throughout a gym or something, like what's going to happen? And it was like, they didn't even, I didn't read the article. Let's say that. I'm not going to say they didn't, but I didn't read the article, so I don't know exactly where this was located. Obviously, go and do your own research on this. But yeah, it really freaked me out because I was like, man, I wasn't worried about ringworm before. I mean, I know it's highly contagious and it's annoying, and if you got it, you need to stay off the mats, blah, 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 blah. Got that. Yeah, of course. But what happens when you get this? Are you never allowed to go to the gym again? Are you never allowed to go to Jiu-Jitsu? Are you never allowed to do much of anything because now you have a ringworm that you can't get rid of? And what does that do? You know, normally you get one little spot and you take care of it and it goes away. But if you got one that won't go away, I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't even want to imagine it. Just ringworm everywhere. Man, that would suck. That would so suck. But so does having Lyme disease. That sucks too. I know people that have it. I have never gotten it. I don't know why. I've definitely had ticks all over me when I was younger and being in the woods, but I don't see a lot of people spending a lot of time in the woods anymore today. You know, most people are at home doing nothing or making YouTube videos. But the whole entire earth was a big ball of ice, supposedly, except for at the equator and Australia. And then it slowly melted, and now, you know, we got our polar ice caps. And Antarctica is melting quite rapidly. And they said that if it melts, it's going to add water, it's going to flood things, and we're all in danger, we're all in doom. But, I mean, all of the U.S. was under 3 miles of ice, too. And I wonder what it's going to be like when that finally melts away and the land is exposed. What are we going to do with it? People are going to fight over that land. They're going to fight over that because it was uninhabitable, and now it'll be habitable. And now we're just going to have wars over that land instead if we don't completely destroy ourselves before then. But they were saying how it's 3 miles deep and it's just falling apart. It's melting away. I don't know. The way the weather's going, it's getting warmer and warmer. It's getting hotter and hotter. My grass died last year. I'm like, man, are we actually going to be able to see the planet heat up to a point where we can't keep plants alive? Where water in certain areas just dries up and goes away. And then we have no water going to the cities. All of a sudden, a bottle of water, I mean, today, I think, is it even 98 cents anymore? I think it might be more than that. But like if you go to a ball game or something like that, just for example, it's like $8 or $10 a bottle, I think. I went to something a couple years ago, and it was like $8 a bottle of water. It's absolutely insane. But if you're thirsty, you're going to pay for it. But when is that day coming? When is the day that everything dries up? The heat is so intense that we all can't stand it. everything is just drying up, right? It's just drying up. And now a bottle of water, Poland Springs, I don't know, 16 ounce. It's like $15. And it's the only way you're going to be able to survive. I don't know if I'm actually worried about it, but it's like I started thinking about it when I started reading that article on the polar cap melting. And I'm like, well, I mean, if the planet was supposed to do this and it's on the path that it's supposed to be on, well, does that mean the planet is coming to an end? Because if we have no water or no drinkable water on the planet, and I was talking about the depth of the ocean, which is 11,000 meters deep. Is it possible for that to dry up? But if all our fresh water dries up, are we finally going to get to a point where we need to extract the water from the ocean and we need to make a machine that can extract the salt from the water, turning it into drinking water? Man, I just see this endless cycle of consumption, day after day, year after year, decade after decade. And the consumption becomes more and more and more every single time. When are we going to get to a point where the amount of people outweighs the amount of food and water on this planet, and we can't sustain that anymore? We can't feed or give people water. And I looked it up today, right? So there are 8.8888 billion people in the world right now. And the article that I was reading said that once we hit 9 billion people, it's going to be unsustainable to feed them all, to give them all water. And we are so close to that, but really, really crazy shit going on today. I mean, the world is wild. Wild, wild, wild. But we're going to take a break real quick. Slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. You're not sure how to spell it? It's right here at the bottom of the screen, or you can click the link in the description below the video. And now before you check out, put in TOPHER and save 10% off your entire purchase today. And it's May, it's beautiful out, and it's time to get outside. And it's time for some new clothes too. So go to slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com today. And not only do they have clothing, but they have towels and wallets and pillow covers. And they have leggings, socks, pins, hats, and outdoor gear. That's right. Beach towels, skateboards, and so much more to offer at this amazing, amazing website. These guys kill it. They just did a Timmy B collab where they have all brand new clothing that was collaborated with Timmy B right now. You got to go and check it out. You can, I'm going to put the link in the description below, but you can go and check them out on Instagram at slowdownclothing. All right. You can go there. They also have a kids page because they have many kids t-shirts to pick from, and also all of these t-shirts hold up wash after wash after wash. It's made out of some of the most comfortable cotton I've ever worn, and these products are amazing. So you need to go to slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com today. That's right, go today to slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. You can get there by clicking the link in the description below the video. And before you check out, put in promo code TOPHER and get an extra 10% off your entire purchase. So go to slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com today and let TWT save you some money. Woo! And I'm back, everybody. You know what time it is. It's time for Topher's Topics. All right, let's see how the Japanese company successfully operates its water-based propulsion system in orbit. Yes, water-based. No more jet fuel. So I don't even understand how this is going to work. Is there a lot of moisture in space? I thought space was dry. So, new in space propulsion techniques seem to be popping out of the woodwork. The level of innovation behind moving things around in space is astounding. And now a company from Japan has just hit a significant milestone, Pale Blue, which I assumed was named as a nod to a beloved Carl Sagan book, recently successfully tested their in-orbit water-based propulsion system, adding yet another safe, affordable propulsion system to satellite designers' repertoires. Let's watch this video and see what it's all about. This is the Pale Blue propulsion system. Oh, it's so cool, huh? Satellite. This is the water-resistant jet thruster. It's got a high thrust. Water molecules go in up to 4 mN at 20 watts. Heaters prevent freezing. Low pressurized risk. Stored at 60 kPa. I gotta look that up. Innovative chamber design. Water vaporizes at 30 degrees Celsius. Quick reaction system. Single thrust in 30 seconds. Water resisto jet thruster. So that's the first one. Second one is a water ion thruster. It says high specific impulse up to 968 seconds. They're tearing the machine apart so you can see inside of it. Innovative chamber design vaporizes water at room temperature. Unprecedented power efficiency via patented plasma generating technology. When these three elements combine, water vapor, microwave, and magnetic field. A phenomenon called electron cyclone resistance occurs, where charged plasma is generated and emits ions. Ion source emits and delivers thrust. Neutralizer maintains neutral charge. Water ion thruster. Oh, wow, look at that. Water resisto thruster. Oh, okay, and now we're doing a water hybrid thruster, which is the both of them combined, high thrust, high specific impulse. The world's safest, most sustainable, most affordable space mobility solution. It's a whole new world out there, everybody. I mean, I'm surprised to see this because hasn't everybody who invented some type of water propulsion system been murdered, disappeared, or just died? So to actually see this and see it to its full capability and to know that the oil oligarchs haven't killed them and stopped this from being done, I mean, that's crazy, right? I mean, we're seeing a water propulsion system. So how long before we actually see one in our cars? Because, I mean, it's been done a few times, and, you know, one of them that was made, and this is just one example that sticks out to me, which I think is a story everybody's heard, but this guy made it, built it, jotted down everything except for the last couple pieces that he kept in his own brain, and then I think he was murdered. So it never came to fruition because he kept the last couple pieces in his brain. His son couldn't figure it out. All the scientists that knew him couldn't figure it out. So it just kind of died with him. But this is really, really crazy stuff. Really cool. Really, really cool. Scientists use GPT AI to passively read people's thoughts in breakthrough. An AI model similar to ChatGPT was combined with fMRI readings to non-invasively decode continuous language from subjects, a new study reports. So there's no video, but they're putting them into an MRI, and now it's got ChatGPT connected to the computer system. So they're scanning you, and the chat AI is diagnosing and determining what's going on in your brain, depending on what's lighting up, what's firing, what the problem is, what's not working, and it's telling the doctors what's happening inside your brain during the scan. I mean, we've already heard about the chat diagnosing people correctly, right? That's a real thing right now. People are seeing doctors and they're not getting the answers they want. They plug it all in the chat GPT, and all of a sudden they have it diagnosed. They bring it to the doctor and they're right. Chat was right. So to see this in an MRI, it's like, well, can it also look at past scans, like my arm, to help me figure out why I've got trigger finger and why no doctor, no scan could figure out what was wrong with me? Can it backtrack and be like, oh, no, you missed this? I mean, how far off are we from that? So let me see if there's anything else that's worth reading. Scientists have invented a language decoder that can translate a person's thoughts into text using an artificial intelligence transformer similar to ChatGPT, reports a new study. The breakthrough marks the first time that continuous language has been non-invasive, reconstructed from human brain activities, which are read through a functional magnetic resource imaging machine, which is your fMRI. I mean, this technology is really taking off, and I think it's taking off even faster than maybe the creators anticipated. It is just wild shit, huh? What a time to be alive, isn't it? The ice caps are melting. The world is in war everywhere. Guns everywhere. Shootings every day. Stabbings all over the place. I mean, this is a wild, wild time to be alive. And then on top of it, you got water propulsion, you got space, you got galaxies blowing up, and you got Chat GPT or Chat AI now reading your brain waves to see what's not working properly, and also telling doctors when they got something wrong and how to get it right. I mean, this is just insane time to be alive. Insane. So there was an explosion at a factory, and it's a Massachusetts plant. The sister of the worker killed in a violent explosion in Newburyport speaks out. I might play this video, but hold on a second. Let's go back here and check this out. So I don't know if you've seen this, but this video is wild. And you can actually, if you look at my pointer, I'll try to make this bigger, but you can actually see right there is the drum. That's the drum that wound up 30 feet away from the facility in the parking lot. At first, when this happened, they only retrieved 4 out of the 5 bodies. The person that was missing, I think that was the noise of the things hitting the ground. Yeah, everything's hitting the ground right now. But it's just going to kind of repeat the explosion over and over again. But it turns out that they were completely like
She tells us that her
vaporized.
mother is a 61-year-old father of 2 from Methuen, an Army veteran. He's
Yeah,
a
see?
longtime employee here at this plant. She and the family are holding out hope that he is found alive.
Oh, really?
I feel deep in my heart that my brother.
I mean, this is a crazy explosion.
As crews figure out how to safely search the heavily damaged plant, the sister of the man missing inside is waiting for news.
I'm trying to think positive. There are times that it's very hard.
5 people were inside the Sequence chemical plant when it exploded overnight. 4 made it out and are okay, but 1 remains unaccounted for. And his sister tells us the 61-year-old father of 2 from Methuen is beloved by family and friends.
Oh.
He's probably one of the most fun-loving persons you will ever meet. He calls every woman darling. Oh, darling, there's my darling.
A longtime employee
That's too
of the
bad.
plant, his sister says he was there during the previous explosion in 2020.
Now you have another.
Oh, okay,
massive
they did
explosion with
mention it.
somebody missing. This is bad. You know, you're gonna fix something. He's amazing. He is honestly amazing, and
He will be
this
missed.
shouldn't happen to him.
Yeah.
She is.
So, yeah, I feel bad for her. That sucks, man. I mean, that explosion, like they just said, there was another, like, explosion or something 3 years ago. I don't know what they did to try and correct the issue, but it's the exact same place, exact same type of malfunction, except now the explosion was 3 times the size. I do believe the update is he was found. There wasn't much left. There wasn't much left. And now I just read an article today that said that they are going to be demolishing that building. It's not savable. And this is another thing that's happening over and over again. We've got all these major chemical plants exploding and leaking fluids everywhere and train derailments left and right. There was another train accident recently where 5 people had to be rushed to the hospital. What's going on with the fucking trains? Can we fix them and keep them on the fucking track? Like, what are we doing? Is our infrastructure just a piece of shit? I mean, granted, you drive the roads, you see the infrastructure. Yes, you can say yes very confidently. But it's like, what the hell's going on with these fucking trains and these chemicals and all these spills? I believe, I'm going to throw it out there, I believe they're doing this on purpose. I think this shit's happening so that they can say that the air is so polluted that we need to stay in our house again. I don't know why they want us to stay in our houses so bad. I don't know why they want us in lockdown so bad. I don't know why they want to make it so that we can't work, we can't go outside, we have to. What are they doing? They're not going to give us like a fucking income for our livelihoods. So if they keep us from doing anything by making all this happen and causing our air pollution to go up and making it so that we can't breathe clean air when we go outside, and now we're stuck inside, you know, with maybe air filters and whatever. But what are they going to do when we can't do anything and we can't go anywhere? Right? So, hey, I got an idea. Fix the fucking trains. Find out why all these explosions are happening, and let's put an end to them. Let's fix this. You know what I mean? Because I'm sorry, but if the whole plan is to keep us locked down and give us a social currency and all this other bullshit, I don't think any of that's going to work in your favor. I really don't. You know, there's a lot of us that aren't going to listen to you, first of all. And we're going to keep going out. We're going to keep doing our thing because we did it all through COVID. I wasn't scared of COVID, and I'm not scared of fucking air pollution. So, fuck you and fuck that. Fix the fucking trains. Keep them on the road. And make these facilities, when they have a bad accident, and you've already been there, well, go back and check up on them and make sure they did what they were supposed to fix the issue. Don't just tell them, fix the issue and then never go back. That would be like me walking into a store, seeing a whole bunch of shit out of place, saying all this needs to be fixed, and then I don't go back for a year. Well, shame on me. Fix your trains, stop these people from allowing this to happen, and be more diligent on checking up on companies that have major problems and or explosions, and make sure that they're not going to have any more explosions. It's just crazy to me. It's just absolutely fucking insane, these people. Now, this is what's happening in retail stores everywhere now. And I did notice it more in Walmart too, but not to this extreme. This is a Target, I think. Hold on, let me shrink that again. This Target, lockdown, shoplifting crisis, San Francisco. Okay, so I thought so. So this is California. Well, hey, California, you're fucking stupid. Yeah, you're stupid. You've literally made this happen because of the laws that you implemented on now anything under $1,000 is not a crime. What did you think was going to happen? Why do you think all these businesses that got ripped off time and time again, why do you think Walmart's closing and all the other stores that got robbed so many times and they can't get any reimbursement because you said it's not a crime? So now they're closing up their doors, people are losing their jobs, or they're doing this. Absolutely 100% every item in the store is behind lock and key. Now, I don't know about you, but when I walk into a Walmart, do you find anybody fucking helpful? Do you find anybody in the store, that even in the area that you're in, is there even anybody there to help you find what you're looking for? How the fuck am I supposed to get deodorant? How? Now they're just repeating it over and over again. Perfect. So I'll close that. But how? If by some chance you walk into one of these stores and everything is behind a lock and key, well, there should be 100 fucking employees, right? You know as much as I do, there's not going to be. Because now, with everything under lock and key, well, we don't need as many employees, right? Employees are to discourage. They're for discouraging theft. That's a lot of our job as a retail associate. You know, you're supposed to keep an eye on people. Make sure they're not stealing. And if they are, you got to go through the proper channels to make sure you get them caught. But that's what they're doing. That's a lot of our jobs. Well, now there's no threat of anything being stolen. So there's going to be less employees. Well, who's got the key? And if you got somebody all the way down in pharmacy unlocking deodorant, and then they got to walk it to the cash register, right? I mean, if everything is under lock and key, they can't just unlock the door and allow you to put it in a cart. Because what's the point of locking it? So do you have to have somebody with you the entire time you're shopping? How does this work? It doesn't even make any sense to me. Like, I understand high ticketed items. I understand high theft items. But toothpaste, flossers, what? Glue, scissors, pencils. I mean, name all the stupid shit in a fucking Target that doesn't need to be locked up but gets stolen. Now it's all locked up. So how do you do your shopping? Or do they lock it up, allow you to walk around, but then you got to, like, I don't know. Do you put it in your phone and then an employee goes around and picks out everything for you? And now because you did it on your phone, they know it's paid for. They can go pick the items. They bring everything to you. Is it going to be like that? Is that what a shopping experience is going to be like from now on? You can't even go into a store and grab items and check out yourself because California was so fucking woke that they were like, under 1,000 is not a crime anymore. What are you talking about? No one's going to go to this Target. No one's going to shop it anymore. And then that Target's going to end up closing its doors and more people are out of work. You know? And then they're going to raise the interest rates more. They're going to, it's just this endless cycle of more money, more, and it just ruining businesses across the board. It's. I don't understand it. I don't understand this. I just don't. I don't know. This world is not what I remember it, and I know my parents used to tell me this, but man, I miss when I was a kid. I really do. I really, really do. It was an easier time. And when I was growing up, my parents said that their time as a child was easier than what we were going through. And it's like, and now I understand. Now I get it. And I'm blown away by this. I don't see this being a good solution for keeping stores open and having people employed. And the more people that we have unemployed, the more shootings we're going to have, the more theft we're going to have, the more drug addiction, homeless we're going to have. It's just going to be this endless cycle and no end in sight. And the government just doesn't seem to give a fuck at all. They're like, figure it out. You'll be fine. What? We don't need to raise the minimum wage. You can live off of $7.25. I mean, gas is only fucking, $3.82 a gallon. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. What? McDonald's dollar menu went up to $5. You're fine. Don't worry about it. It's all going to work out. I mean, you're still only making $7.75. At least you're making $7.75. No one can afford to fucking live off of minimum wage and minimum hours. You just can't. You can't live today. You can't own anything. You can't move from your position. You just can't. And this doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. Let's see. A Utah mom wrote a kid's book about grief after her husband's death. Now she's charged with his murder. I think this is the second time. I think there was a podcaster that was doing crime podcasts, and one of the podcasts that she did was on how to murder your husband or something. And it turned out that the entire podcast was actually fact to fact her entire murder of her husband. Another one. Wild shit, man. People, hey, look. Today, right now, there is no privacy. There is no hiding. I don't believe that you can get away with shit today. There's too many eyeballs watching. There's too many phones out there. There's too many keyboard warriors that are looking for something that they can just bitch about. So the fact that you wrote a book on how your husband died or whatever, and it turns out it's just all your facts on how you did it. I mean, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? What is she thinking? Let's find out.
My husband passed away unexpectedly last year, so it's March 4th was a 1-year anniversary for us, and he was 39. It completely took us all by shock.
Corey Richins promoting her children's book, Are You With Me, when it came out just weeks ago. Dedicated to my amazing husband and wonderful father, and written, says the blurb, to create peace and comfort for children who have lost a loved one. Tonight, Richins is behind bars, accused of murdering her husband by serving him a drink, a Moscow Mule, laced with fentanyl.
He had 3 boys that he loved more.
Oh, shit.
It's been sad without Eric. He loved to hunt, loved to be outside. Very honest guy. He was a great friend.
Eric Richens died at the family's home in small-town Utah early one March morning last year. According to court documents, his wife Corey says she served him a drink in bed the night before going to sleep with one of their kids who was having a night terror. She says she woke around 3 a.m. and went back to her bed. She felt Eric and he was cold to the touch. That is when the defendant called 911. The medical examiner found that Eric Richens had around 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in his system, and it had been ingested orally.
Holy
Investigators
shit.
seized the family's phones, which provided a breakthrough. Apparently, text messages were discovered between the wife and a drug dealer. This,
What?
authorities say, went down. In late 2021 or early 22, Corey Richens texted that dealer asking for prescription pain medication for an investor who had a back injury. About 2 weeks later, Corey Richens texted again, said that her investor wanted something stronger and asked for some of the Michael Jackson stuff. The defendant asked specifically for fentanyl, which was delivered around February 11th. After Valentine's Day dinner at home, Eric Richens became very ill. Eric told a friend that he thought his wife was trying to poison him.
Oh,
a couple
shit.
of weeks later, she got more fentanyl from the dealer, and 6 days later, on March 4th, 2022, Eric was found dead of a fentanyl overdose.
Jesus Christ. Corey Richards has detention hearing on May 19th. Her attorneys did not respond to a request for comment. Of course they didn't. This is an open court case. You can't have a discussion about an open court case. It always like it's some big surprise that they didn't have a fucking comment. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's trying to fucking completely snowball this and be like, no. But my question is like, did he start acting like an addict? Did he start like? I mean, that stuff is. I mean, it's more addictive than heroin. So. Is it possible that he started like acting like a drug addict, and maybe that's what the question, maybe that's where the question and the comment of, I think my wife is trying to poison me came from? Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so they can tell when you orally ingest, orally ingest fentanyl? I mean, so they have so many ways of finding out what happened. You can't hide anything today. You know? You just can't. And you shouldn't. I mean, you can try. I'm not going to tell you not to. I tried. But it was a different time. It's 20, 30 years ago. You could. You still could back then. But today, so much harder. So much harder. But holy shit, huh? What a crazy world. What a crazy bitch. I'm going to poison my husband with fentanyl. Woo! Man, I wish I had a cool guy tune for that, you know. That's a crazy bitch. Crazy bitch. Oh, man. Thank you so much for all the subscribers. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Keep giving, keep spreading the word. Help me make this thing bigger, all right? It's what keeps me coming back here week after week. And, of course, if you're just stopping by, you're checking it out, maybe you got a link and you're like, what is this? Well, subscribe. Go ahead, subscribe. Go check out all 162 episodes, all the shorts, all the clips. Go and check them all out. They're everywhere. You can find them. And remember to subscribe, all right? That's the most important thing you can do for me. This is free for you. It's not free for me to do, so go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you want to get more involved with Talking with Topher, TALKIN with Topher at gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher at gmail.com, the official email of the podcast. Come on, tell me your story. You want to be on the podcast? You got to send me your story. The only way you can do that is send it over to TALKIN with Topher at gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher at gmail.com. And then, of course, you can find Talking with Topher everywhere, on every platform, audios, videos. It's everywhere. And you can also follow me on social media. And it's just so easy by clicking the link tree right here in the description below the video. You can also copy and share it very easily, giving everybody access to TwT everywhere just by clicking the link tree, all right? And now with all that being said, I hope everybody out there has an amazing Thursday. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there. And as always, I will talk to you later.